Hey, what's up everybody? So when I originally made this review, I didn't realize there was a review embargo on it. And I don't exactly know how I feel about that. So that being said, I'm going to post this review whenever the big named reviewers post their stuff. But I can guarantee you that my review is going to be a lot different than theirs. So with that, here we go. So, I didn't even borrow this game from a friend. I played a massive amount on his system. I didn't do the beta even though I had a chance to. I wanted my experience to be of the final product, and I didn't even follow the gameplay released, so that it wouldn't create a bias. Hell, I wasn't even planning on doing a review of this, but something changed my mind. Let's talk about the overview. So I felt the character customization was really good. You got to choose one of 3 races, the Awoken, the Exo, and my personal favorite, the Humans. You know, because I am one. You can change hairstyles, gender, clothes, and armor. You start off the game actually dead, and your ghost robot friend is voiced by Peter Dinklage. He finds you and brings you back to life by some means. Areas that you will explore are Earth, Mars, the Moon, and Venus. The guns may not be as varied as the Borderlands, but they look, sound, and feel much better than its counterpart. That shotgun. Man, everybody loves a good shotgun. If you are playing with a friend and he's fighting pretty far away, you can hear realistic gunshots in the distance that mimics a real-life battlefield. One thing that keeps poking me is the game has a feeling of being a polished, realistic game mixed with the cartoony graphics of Borderlands. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. This time around, they seem to have gotten the respawn system when you die dialed down pretty well. I remember back in Borderlands, they had a checkpoint gate, and that can be extremely far from where your last battle was. Destiny seems to have implemented something like the Bad Company series. One thing that was kind of humorous is that your character has the ability to do a nice little dance on screen. I'm going to talk about the not so bad before I get into the ugly. Destiny received a teen rating by the ESRB, which may be good for some, but I feel it actually held back the game from reaching its potential and nearly makes the game seem a bit hollow. The way they tell the story is good in some areas, but others it just seems shoehorned in like the Borderlands, but with none of the snazzy remarks. Like I said earlier with the locations, the only places that look and seem interesting is Earth and Venus. The rest just look bland and meaningless and kind of seem bored to me. Some people may be wondering about the glitches. I haven't really encountered any besides some lag here and there, but every now and then the game doesn't seem to be able to handle the sound of gunfire and it makes this weird noise. You'll know what I'm talking about when you encounter it. This game is mostly in first person. I say mostly because when you're walking around in Earth's last city, you run around in third person. They clearly have everything coded for it, so why can't we have the option like the Elder Scrolls or the Fallout series? Bungie made the gunplay very fluid, and I feel like it would have carried over into the third person. That way, other companies could take notice of this and implement it into their games. To me, this just feels like a missed opportunity. Now with the ugly. The story isn't all that great. Characters don't show much emotion or have much of a personality. Peter Dinklage, the famous actor, doesn't even portray a good character in this game, nor does he provide a good voiceover. Everything he says is in monotone. I feel Destiny could have been better spent the money on someone else because I guarantee you he was expensive to recruit. I found this to be strange and kind of pulled me out of the experience was that ship at the very beginning of the game. Your ghost says to you that it hasn't flown in centuries. Yes, I said centuries, not years, centuries. But your ghost is able to scan a few things and it's good as new and ready to go. Some of you may be wondering about the multiplayer. The multiplayer is barely worth mentioning and it would be totally forgiven if you don't even touch it. The story mode is where it's at, but even then the story is totally forgettable. Speaking of online, this game requires you to be always online. A lot of people's reasoning behind this, and a good counter argument that they say, is just don't be poor. I think this reasoning is totally unacceptable and is the main reason the Xbox One received some hate on its E3 debut. The game has co-op, but this just seems to be everyone's explanation for lack of story, characters, repetitive enemies, and gameplay. That's just a lazy excuse for lazy effort. I shouldn't need a friend to make the story better, and it shouldn't be the reason the level design is subpar. I guess their thinking was we would pay more attention to our friend than the landscape. To me, the Borderlands was really only a 7-point game. This game doesn't get much higher than that one that started the genre. Destiny is a good 7.8 out of 10 and would only be my second game that I gave that score to. With that giant budget and all that hype, it's safe to call this game Destiny.